Kit Galdi, and the title is Italy on a Broken Shoestring. This is an excerpt from a memoir, an account of 5 seniors who met in London on a theater tour. We found we had some things in common and decided to take a self-planned trip to Italy. We were Bobby and John, a married couple, Larry, a bachelor, Pat, divorced, and me, widowed less than a year, and taking that first baby step alone. On the internet, the villa was described as just outside Florence with a view of the city from the patio. The view was, in fact, a panoramic spectacle, and on a clear night, we could see the lights of Florence, but from a distance. Our crystal clear pool, just below the house, overlooked smoky green olive trees that blanketed the hills below. The owner, Roberto, his wife Simonetta, and their 2 sons lived in a house on the adjoining property. When I sat by the hilltop pool in the ochre light of sunset, or when I walked down the hill in the cool morning, when the breezes turned olive green, leaves silvery, I knew the magic of Tuscany. During the week, Simonetta brought us fresh vegetables, pasta, Chianti Classico wine, eggs, and coffee. One day, her oldest son, Carlo, who was learning to read and write English in school, brought a jar of homemade tomato sauce with a note. "This is a gift my mama made for you. Bye-bye," it read. Their kindness seemed to have no limits, and we were not inclined to look askance at the unfamiliar plumbing or electrical arrangements. No hot water could be turned on upstairs when the downstairs hot water was running. When the dishwasher was used after 7 in the evening, a second switch must be turned to the left. Small appliances were not to be used when any large appliance was in use. The bathrooms were equally confounding. The upstairs shower had a lip around the base that was less than an inch high, permitting water to spill over out onto the hall and splash down the stairs. The frail shower head needed to be held with one hand and barely attached shower curtain held with the other, while the water came in random spurts. I have never been a detail person and tend to be somewhat forgetful, more so as time passes. So I admit to being the most frequent cause of electrical failure and shower flooding, evoking kindly suggestions that I notify everyone when I am about to take a shower. More directly, don't touch the dishwasher, damn it. We were learning about each other, how our individual idiosyncratic styles contributed to the enjoyment, as well as the disasters. Bobby was an artist and believed somehow that this excused her from any traffic with numbers. She handled no money. That was John, her husband's, responsibility. She misunderstood most financial transactions, but continually lifted our spirits with evocative arrangements of wildflowers, and never permitted our meals to suffer from ordinary presentation. In Pat's hands, the simplest Tuscan vegetable became hot cuisine, while her sense of adventure ensured we'd be lost at least once a day. Larry, a pragmatist, kept us focused most of the time, but brought some of us who hadn't prayed in years to their knees when he managed to wrest control of the station wagon. John made charts and planned. I was a klutz with plumbing, but having mothered a bunch of kids, I was able to stay cool and manage almost any emergency. A worthwhile contribution, I thought. Each day we left the villa, crept down the hill, blew the horn at each turn, found a niche in a ditch to let the lumber truck pass, and headed for a hill town. Siena, San Gimignano, Pisa. The station wagon had 3 unexpected contacts. Larry snagged a tree trunk snaking along a narrow road, and I picked up a dent going up the hill. Pat made the most dramatic contact one night with an oncoming car. We were on our way home in the dark. A car approached, traveling equally fast, and hit our side view mirror with its side view mirror. After a brief explosive sound, ours fell, smashed and dangling by a wire. Before long, a routine was established. In the morning, Roberto, our host, woke and checked the station wagon and grounds for damage, then fixed it. He could not repair the dangling mirror on his own, but had it attached and looking fairly respectable by the time we were ready to drive the car. We were so apologetic. Roberto smiled at us as though we were amusing but troublesome children. One evening, we ate dinner in the dark, too embarrassed to go over and tell Roberto that he would have, again, to hike up the hill and unlock the shed to where the complex electronical system had its route. When we left, Roberto had to be coached to take money for taxi services and other kindnesses. They had done nothing special for us, he insisted. They seemed genuinely sorry to see us go. We hugged and promised we'd come again. Because of the language barrier, we had spoken few words, but by the end of the week, everyone sensed that our abbreviated communication had become an abundant exchange. Pat swiped against a green sign as we drove into the Avis garage. There was green paint on the fender as we said farewell to Florence.